If you're joining us now, this is our first live streamed episode of Nat One Heroes premier D&D campaign, 5th edition homebrew, Actuary of Blasphemy. Most of you are probably caught up to like episode 7 or so, but we're going to be starting this episode out as interestingly as we can, because the players are not going to be telling you who they are. They will, in character, be reporting to someone much more severe. So,
The IRS.
Oh my gosh, that's truly scary.
Fantasy IRS is a thing. I'm sorry.
No.
Zermos, why you gotta make it bad? Like every time.
I have to learn to not
zoom
give
in
him ideas.
onto this world, and we see a purple-skinned hag, old and gnarled, gazing over the edge of a black cauldron in a starry forest, carefully observing the world through an odd scope. It is an odd combination of a microscope and a telescope, and that little clicky thing that you see at the doctor's office sometimes when you're getting your eyes checked, where they go click, 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 and annoys the fuck out of you. But she's going click, click, click on it, just arranging the lenses just so she can see at different heights, and arranging just her wooden Da Vinci style gearing to bring it around so that she can look just where she wants to look. And she carefully pulls out a little piece and sticks it in her ear and just listens carefully. And she puts her eye into the lens, and she sees and zooms in on a floating island and a city on that island. A city not made of timbers and stones, but made of metal and glass and concrete, which is not something that is typical in this fantasy world. And there are 3 people she zooms in on specifically who are about to say something incredibly poignant as they discuss things with their lawyer. Whoever wants to say something dumb, go ahead and say something dumb. Just go ahead and get it out now.
Oh, so many options to choose from.
So, should we list all of our crimes up front, or is that bad?
No, that's bad. Do not do that.
It's hard. Okay, so if they ask a question and we're not supposed to answer it, how do we know?
And what about crimes that we plan on committing in the future? Should we discuss that?
Zermos?
You understand I'm doing this pro bono, right?
Right.
I tried to pay you.
No, and we both agreed you couldn't afford my rate.
It's true. We can't afford his rate, Zermos. Please don't mess that up for us.
Which is why I brought up the crimes.
No, me
and
too.
The little gnome in the nice shirt and well-cut and tailored coat puts his head in his hands, and poor little Candelario Lampwick wonders why he ever agreed to do this, because this is about to be quite possibly the hardest interview of his legal career.
Well, do we need a signal then? Like, if they ask a question and we're not supposed to answer it or answer it honestly,
I will say that my client... No.
I
will say that my clients have no memory of that event.
Okay. So
I will say
you answer for us?
I do like her idea of signals, much like
we
when the
already
kids play
discussed
stickball.
this. We discussed this well.
Yeah, right, like that.
Just everyone, shut up. Everyone, for the love of every single god that has ever existed, shut the fuck up right now before I blow my goddamn mind. Do you understand me? You understand me?
It's hard
I'm
not
about to rip your nose off. I am about to rip your nose off right now.
I don't know if I should say yes, I understand, or would that further infuriate you?
Mr. Lampwick, I have the deepest of sympathies. If you want to
understand,
kill these two, it would be a big help to me.
That would be illegal. You over there discussing murder at every opportunity. This is how
it was a joke.
Ended up in this situation in the first place. You understand that, right?
But he does.
It was a joke.
Redhead does have a trick up his sleeve. He can make us be quiet. I don't like it, but that could be helpful.
You know,
what, you got like a pacifier for him or something?
Well, it's like a magic pacifier, except
There,
no
that's it.
sound can escape.
And then if you scratch your eyebrow, he can make us be quiet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I like
Now,
it.
okay, the constable is going to be walking through that door here in just a few minutes, maybe max, okay? We have an agreed upon time. He's going to walk through this door. He's going to do basic things. He's going to ask you basic questions that you will answer simply, straightforwardly, and without saying that you murdered anyone.
No, I don't think anyone murdered anyone except for the Revenant.
I have no idea what you were talking
harvest
about.
blood, but I don't know if that counts as murder.
I murdered that goblin for sure, though.
Did you murder it? No, I don't think you murdered him.
No, my spear went
You were
right
not
through
fighting.
his...
You were fighting. It's not murder.
And with
it's
that,
like,
you hear a knock on the door.
it's defense, self-defense.
We're ready as we'll ever be.
I forgot my dice. Oh my god.
And the players are somehow not.
That's bad. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay. All right. And a recognizable figure comes in. Constable Bruce. I'm sorry. No, not Constable, because he's been promoted. Sergeant Bruce Latroux walks in, and he takes his clipboard. All right. I am here to ask you basic questions, and it's real simple, and we're going to keep it simple. Okay, I don't have a flow chart for an interview, so I just have these forms that I have to fill out. And I'm just going to go round robin all, well, no robin. I don't do robin no more. Round the whole thing. And
Why no robins? We all like robins.
They're beautiful birds.
No.
And they have a beautiful.
And Candelario just looks at you both. Just looks at you incredibly sternly. And
Servos kind of gives him a...
Do I feel intimidated in any way, or is it?
it's kind of silly coming from a man of his size, because he's like shorter than Revenant. Like Revenant is actually tall for a gnome.
Well, and Revenant has an air of a gravitas that makes it very difficult not to respect him, whereas Candlewick seems more chipper in some ways.
How tall is Revenant? Revenant, how tall is you?
3'2".
All right.
My height.
So Bruce just looks across at all of you. I ask the questions.
Fair enough. You do have the clipboard.
Okay. I have the clipboard. I have the badge. I ask the questions.
Chirp, chirp.
Revenant, would you tell me your name?
Yes,
I'm sorry. Perpetrator 1, would you tell me your name?
Hold on, I'm not a perpetrator until that's found out in a court of law. Second of all, my name's Revenant. I don't know why you're asking me. You could have just filled that one out for yourself, mate.
I mean, he did ask you.
He does have a point.
He used your name to ask your name. It was a little.
I know his name, but I still have to ask him his name, even if I know his name.
He was a little out of order.
Are you new at this? Have you done this before?
Well, he's done it at least once.
I ask the questions. I ask the questions.
Yeah.
Look, I have only been doing this for like a month. You know what? Captain Bruce puts a lot of trust in me, and I want to respect that trust so bad.
Yeah, no, we see you. You're doing great. We will try and make it easier.
Okay. We have every confidence that you know.
100%. And you're holding the clipboard with a lot of authority.
Miss, would you tell me your name?
Rune de Libre.
Okay.
Oh, see, she gets missed, but I get perpetrator number 1.
Perpetrator number 2, please hush.
I thought he was one. I don't know.
He was perpetrators 1 through 3.
That's fine.
There was some duplication problems with the paperwork.
Just give us all numbers. We're not individuals at all. That's fine.
Maybe they could give us little tattoos with numbers.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, let's not make that joke.
The clipboard.
All right.
It's too late.
Tiefling 1, would you tell me your name?
First name or both names?
Yeah, both names.
My name is Zermos Glytharian.
Oh, I heard that name before. Where I heard that name?
Probably from my piece of shit father.
Oh, okay. You got beef with your old man. I understand.
Oh, if you had ever met him, you would as well.
Any maiden names to report?
I'm not married. Is that how that works?
My full title, name and title, is Dr. Revenant the Third. I don't know if it's like paperwork you need to fill out.
He just writes it down.
Are you actually writing that? Because I don't know. Make sure it's correct.
Would you let me ask the questions, please? And we
was
just
it?
get through this so much faster. Like,
Alright,
you understand Captain Brood is the one who's going to follow up on this, right? Like, I'm not the one who's going to be doing the actual questioning. I'm just doing initiation paperwork with this process.
You know she's going to turn you into a piece of tinfoil if you don't get this correct, right?
Yes!
I'm saving you. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me
Zermas
have
is
a once
really good
over
at
on
that.
that. Let me make sure you spelled my name right.
Zermas is really good at noticing things.
Perhaps put the clipboard on the table so we can all look.
And
That's
he
a good
just
idea.
slams the clipboard down and he looks across at all of you.
We're just trying to help.
You know why you're here, right?
Well, somebody decided they had to ask us questions. We're here to answer your
We
questions.
got a vague idea.
You
of
are
why we're
here in regards for questioning due to a murder you may have committed.
Candlewick, are we supposed to answer these questions?
The ones about your goddamn names? Yes.
Well, he just asked us about my murder.
No. That wasn't a serious line of questioning. That was a reminder that you're supposed to answer the questions he's asking.
Not the other questions that he's not asking.
I thought the name was the
Got it.
serious part.
He doesn't want us to answer questions he's not asking. That makes sense. I think
What
we
could
should
be more serious than our names?
And he takes the clipboard back up. Home address.
Can I have a clipboard?
No! Home address.
Is that
Home
for everyone?
address.
Yes! Whose home address do you want?
I want you to go in the order that I was asking you questions in. First Revenant, then the lady, then the tiefling.
Got it.
Okay.
My home address is Mr. Cathal's boarding house, basement level. That's it. I live in the entire basement.
Mine top?
Mine top, yeah.
Okay. And
that's where we just came from, man. You could have assumed that.
You have to say it. You have to say it. That's how it works.
All right,
Miss Libre.
Yeah, my address is the 5th tent to the left of the stable tent in Mr. Big's Amazing Circus of Caldarian Delights.
Would that be a traveling circus?
Well, yes.
Does the traveling circus have a home address?
You know, I honestly don't know. I really didn't ever
homeless.
Oh no, I'm not homeless. I have a tent in Mr. Big's Amazing Circus of Caldarian Delights.
Home is where the heart is.
So do the guys in the botanical gardens, but we don't say they have homes.
No, I have a tent.
Hey, hold on, Ruin. Young sir, is that on your clipboard to berate us about our living situations?
Yeah, I don't feel I should be judged for how I choose
home
to live.
Address, please.
I just told you.
Mr. Zermos Glytharion.
I live in the Great Basin.
Great Basin?
In a tent. Or is that unacceptable to you?
Homeless. Great Basin.
You know what?
This feels really judgmental.
I will definitely want to speak to your manager after
Yeah, I think I would like to.
I have some news for you. I've been here like a month in the Ailton Empire. You've been in here all of like 6 hours. It's a very judgmental place.
I'm not sure I'm comfortable with being interviewed in this style by someone who's going to judge my living situation.
You know, you should really be the change you're looking for.
Agreed.
Wait. How much do you weigh?
Oh, I thought you were telling us to wait, so I was ignoring you, but...
Wait.
Yeah, I'm about 34, 35 pounds. Oh, actually, I'm more kidding. I'll let myself go a bit. Probably pushing 36.
Do you have an exact measurement?
Well, I mean, don't you have
Who
a
has an
scale?
exact measurement of their fucking weight?
Okay.
Yeah, how do you get that?
Revenant, he picks you up and he puts you on a postal scale. And then he puts you back down. And he writes down the weight.
That's very rude to lift people without permission.
It really is.
So
have your weight?
his
It's
canon
almost as
weight
rude
is
as judging
34
their living
pounds.
situation.
Okay,
His canon
weight.
weight is 34.
9.2 stone.
That is not an officially recognized weight measurement system of the
You
IoT
don't recognize my
Empire.
house, now you don't recognize my weight?
Why don't you just write it on the
Yes.
clipboard and let the adults do the thinking for you?
Just put 9 stone, they'll figure it out.
Belligerent.
That's
Just
not
let someone with an education do the conversion for you.
Oh, what do you know? That's not the next question. Next question's height, but the question after that is education.
I weigh as much as 4,000 pine needles. Write that on your clipboard.
Belligerent.
It's not a
Hey,
weight. Belligerent
Brutus,
is not
right?
weight.
Brutus, I'm trying to play ball with you, but I've
I'm
been dealing
Bruce.
with Bruce. I'm sorry, mate.
It's
But you
pronounced.
may refer to me as Sergeant Latro.
Sergeant Latrobe.
Oh,
I'm
congratulations.
sorry, no
Sir?
disrespect intended. You see what I've been dealing with for the past few days?
Yes.
This is enough to drive me insane, right? So, can I get an insanity plea? Because I can't deal with this shit, man. I haven't slept well in days. I'm fucking sleep deprived.
Candelario
right?
Lampwick looks at you and goes, "There's no insanity play in the Ioltan Empire.
Looks like
Also,
you're stuck with us
you're
already.
under acquisitional amnesty. You need to keep that in mind. And, maybe not tell them you have things you need to plead for.
Now, I'm just saying, if they're accusing us of what they're accusing us, and if that's true, I can claim
They
it
haven't even
insanity.
gotten to the accusations yet.
Yeah, we haven't been accused of anything. Oh,
They've
except
asked you your
homeless.
name and other
belligerent.
basic shit.
We have a hurdy-gurdy sergeant with a clipboard and a quill who thinks he knows everything. So let's just finish up with this unimportant man and get on to our real business of being
I agreed.
here.
Let's get whatever you need,
And
Bruce.
Sergeant looks at you
Sarge.
both and he's like, "Okay. I'm trying to be a professional here, and you are making it very hard.
We're really good at that. We
It's
have-
not something to be proud of."
Oh, I'm amused by it. That wasn't pride.
Height.
Is it me?
Mr. Revenant.
It's Revenant. Okay.
3'2".
2 Miss Ruin.
6'2".
Damn. Mr. Zermos.
6'3".
Oh,
Damn. That's
should've
almost like
gone
you picked
last.
that just to be petty to her, but that's impossible to just pick height.
I would never do that.
never do that.
Okay,
His height is
this
petty.
one's going to seem obvious, and you're going to give me shit. But I need you to get all that out of your system before Captain Brute gets in here, okay?
You don't manage us. You just ask us the things on your clipboard. Go on.
Species.
Well, I'm technically a Zwerfniblin, but you can also just call me a gnome. There's not much difference.
Deep gnome.
Zwerfniblin, mate.
Burf.
I want to know what a Sepharniblin is.
Zwerfniblin.
Gesundheit.
Burf goblin.
Fuck you, mate.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
a little
I'm
rude.
just going to put
I
down.
don't like
deep
his
gnome.
judgment on species any more than I liked it on our living situation.
Next, he's going to ask us how much money we have in our pocket.
Miss Ruin. Species.
Human.
Thank you. Mr. Glytharion.
Tiefling.
Thank you, Mr. Glytharion.
Zermos is fine.
Thank you, Mr. Zermos.
Uh,
I
awesome.
apologize. I know there are certain body parts that make it obvious.
Anatomical.
I mean, you've already called me Mr. Tiefling earlier, but here again, what is next on your?
I am required to ask these questions.
You already said. Go ahead.
Marital status.
Previously engaged.
That's not what it asks. So not married.
Not
Marital
married.
status. Okay. Miss.
Not
marital
interested.
status. I wasn't proposing.
That's my status.
Okay. Mr. Glytharion. And again, I'm not proposing to you either.
You should. He's a handsome man.
Too focused on my work.
You are here to be questioned about a murder. You are awfully jovial about that.
It's because we didn't do anything wrong. This is all ridiculous. It's a
Okay.
pony show.
Single.
Present. I would ask present address next, but you made it quite clear that, yeah. Okay. Political affiliations?
Well, I can't say I'm too familiar with brass veins politics, mate.
Okay, so nobody will report in the city. Allegiances to report. Deities, perhaps?
I'm the leader of a religious organization. I am part of a aberration friend group that meets, well, I haven't met them in a long time. Nice guys. Regardless, what else? I'm technically part of an author club, right? Where we get together, exchange notes. Nothing really serious. My religious group worships a death god.
Okay, that's and you see your lawyer kind of look at you.
It's not like that. It's about funerals, protecting the living, and promoting the sanctity of life. Everyone thinks death cultists when I say that. No.
Okay.
I don't go around doing that shit.
Miss Ruin?
Allegiances. I'm a member of the Jugglers Guild and a founding member of the Security Guard for Children and Animal Safety Program.
And you see this glass dome in the center of the table lights up red, and he just looks at you.
These are true things. I don't understand.
Those are not true things.
Okay.
The Jugglers Guild.
How do you think I got a job in the circus? They don't just let anybody in there.
No. It didn't light up on the first one. It lit up on the second one.
We, as security guards, we need to protect the children and the animals.
It lit up. It's glowing bright red, and he's just looking at you.
Gosh, that judgment here is thick. I also
generally we frown upon lying here, ma'am.
Well, that's an interesting choice to make in this world, and also I represent the interests of Silent Peter on occasion when I can.
It stops glowing red.
And I occasionally attend the local meditation center, and I think those are what I would call my allegiances. And then to my companions here, of course, I'm certainly loyal to them.
All right, and you, Mr. Glytharion?
I am a follower of the Bristlecombe grandfather.
The deity located in the Great Basin.
Correct.
All right. Okay, from the top, employment. Current employment.
Oh, current employment.
published author, advisor to Lady Fullwell of Mointop, Silverbone Moin tunnel expert, and historian, specifically theological history.
Isn't Lady Falwell kind of no longer the leader of Mindtop?
Doesn't mean I'm not still her advisor.
Okay, makes sense. Miss
Until
Ruin?
I find better employment, this is what I got, mate.
Mr. Revenant, thank you. Miss Ruin?
Well, I am a circus performer and problem solver in the Mr. Big's Amazing Circus of Caldarian Delights.
The circus that's stuck on the ground.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any other employment?
That's my current one. You said to start with the most current one. So
unemployed.
No, I am employed. I was also a security guard for the Caldarian estate. It was a town crier. I did tavern security when I was younger.
Was that previous employment?
Yeah, you said previous employment. You said
okay. So current employment.
I work for the circus. How do you not?
The circus that is stuck on the ground.
That doesn't matter. I'm going back there when we're done with this BS. You can't say I'm homeless and I don't have a job just because you don't like it.
Really concerned, and honestly, he looks pained to tell you this. Miss Ruin, the Ailton Empire is not going to let you go back.
Well, you're not the final arbiter. You're not the final arbiter of this.
I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying that as an officer or anything like that. They wouldn't let me go back either.
Yeah, well, we're not you, obviously. My turn. I'm unemployed, whatever. I don't have a job. I'm already rich.
Aren't you a prophet?
Well, I mean, is that a job description that anyone can put on a form on a clipboard?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a prophet too.
Yeah. Just throw prophet.
Okay, I'm writing that down. I'm writing it down.
Allow me to help.
Crossing out unemployed and putting down prophet.
How about you just put prophet for all three of us? You know what? Just put prophet for all of the answers that are proceeding, and we can speed this along.
It's a good idea.
Arrest history.
Prophet.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yes.
And you see your lawyer just look at you. I believe what my client is trying to say is that as a man of the cloth, he has been too dignified for such a thing to occur. Isn't that right, Mr. Glytharion?
Zermos is fine. Look, we don't need, you're asking us for our previous record. If you don't know it and I don't tell you, then how will you know?
You know what? I can help you out here. Zermos over here is the son of some rich bloke who lives in the forest, scrounging off of mushrooms he finds.
Wait, does the rich bloke live in the forest scrounging off mushrooms?
No, I'm talking about Zermos this time.
Are they magic mushrooms?
Scrounges around eating mushrooms all day in the forest. I figured him out immediately when I met him that he was a forest person like every forest person I've ever met. That being said, he was a spoiled rich kid growing up, so he never went to jail. He never even got arrested or questioned.
I was spoiled.
I can guess this.
Not much.
Now, Ruin. I have no idea, because sometimes I think you're one way and other times I think you're another. So I can't make a judgment call on you, but you seem very nice for someone who, from what I can tell, probably never did anything wrong.
Now, hold on, Revenant, because this line of questioning has me thinking. If you guys have charges against us, the three of us, what does our previous history have anything to do with the charges you have on us?
It's
so if you have, do you know? No, Ruin, don't answer this question. Hey, Mr. Clipboard Man, you can skip on down to the next one. Our history is none of your business.
I'm not ashamed of what I've done. I had a really good reason for violating that shrine. And I appreciated that it was important.
Ma'am, would you like to answer the question instead of letting him answer for you?
I'm not sure if I should. Just the one. I don't feel bad about what I did. And when you violate a shrine, then you get in trouble for trespassing. And when you then have to fight your way out, you could possibly get fighting in public charge.
Okay, and you see he writes down under arrest history on yours, he writes yes ?
And those people across the border needed those spices. I don't understand why ginger was outlawed. It doesn't make any sense. People should not be outlawing ginger. It's a delicious spice and it's good for your stomach.
It is delicious.
Right. Last one. Education. Mr. Revenant.
I have a PhD. I completed 6 years of school in 3. Graduated top of my class in surgery, minored in history and religion. That's pretty much the nadir of my education, but I like to think that I'm always learning.
What institution?
So it was Kidney University in the deep down under.
All right. Miss, your education.
I'm a student of life and the School of Hard Knocks.
Uneducated.
What is this? You live in this world where things have to be very prescribed.
Mr. Zerp.
Ruin, I have to agree with you. Usually when people are filling out clipboards, do not tell us what they write on the clipboard immediately after writing it. It seems a bit rude.
Especially when it's not what we said.
Yeah.
When you ask a question, we give you an answer, and then you reinterpret it to something completely meaningless.
I have to reinterpret it to where it fits on the form.
Oh, but you also have to read it out to make us feel bad about ourselves. Let me just be clear.
People do not fit on a form. That's the path of madness.
Yeah, man.
Actually, it's kind of the purpose of forms, is to fit all the information of people on them.
Right, but you're supposed to put the information of the people, not the stuff you interpret about them.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Mr. Glytherion,
this is
employment history, please.
No, my education, I think you're on. So I think I have many years of very historied education. However, I never attended any of your universities or colleges because I'm rich.
Private tutors?
Yes.
Okay. Private study. All right. And he steps outside.
Yeah, good riddance.
And Mr. Candelario Lampwick stands up and gets in front of the table and looks at all of you.
How do we do?
Pulls himself up and he stands on the table so that he can look down at you all.
No, don't you look down on me, mate. All
right, he pulls you up so that you're standing up with him. And he's just like looking down at the other two.
I try my hardest to do damage control, mate. I can't handle this. I'm sleep deprived. I'm hallucinating. I'm fucking hallucinating, mate.
It's not all that bad.
So,
Revenant, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make things hard for you.
The next person who walks through that door is going to be Captain Brute, right?
Okay.
Captain Brute is a powerful woman.
And your wife, right?
Yes. You knew that when you hired me.
I'm just wondering if that helps at all.
So I shouldn't ask her about you in the bedroom or anything like that. That would be my
Mr.
You have to relax.
No, this is not a time to relax. This
what
is
if
a
we
time
flirt
to be
with you?
proper.
Will she appreciate that?
Is she into that?
Is she into that?
Does she like that?
So you remember when you guys were fucking around with a werewolf when he was in a heightened emotional state, and I kept on making you roll d4s to determine whether or not he would transform into a werewolf?
Maybe.
Oh, fuck.
There is now a bullshit meter on the table. Roll a d4.
I'll do it. I got good luck.
Yeah, Rev, you do it.
No, go upstairs, Kaylee. Nope, you can't be down here. Go. I got a 1.
Oh, shit.
No. We'll let the one stand. We will let the one stand.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
And you see he gets a little red in the face and a little angry. I am here to help you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I feel like you don't understand that. I feel like you don't understand the severity of the situation.
I think you also have to understand that we've been put into a situation that we have no control over. So us being stressed about said situation can neither help us nor hurt us as far as we're concerned.
Okay.
So Wes and I really don't do well when we're not in control.
I hear this feedback. I'm not in control of this either. Okay? I'm not. You're not in control of this situation. I'm not in control of this situation. You want to know who is in control of the situation? Any guesses?
Jessica Brute.
You wish it was Jessica Brute. Jessica Brute is a hard but kind and compassionate woman. No. You're having to deal with the newspapers right now. That's who you're having to deal with.
Well, then maybe you should
They are
bring them in.
reporting on this left and right. They are talking about the three of you as terrorists. Do you understand that? That you are being considered terrorists by the media right now?
One man's terrorist is another man's martyr.
Freedom fighter.
Yes, that's true. And if we can swing public opinion on that, we can get you recognized as good people.
Well, then help us to make it so
No.
we can homeless.
That's what I want to do. You being homeless is a point in your favor. That makes you more empathetic.
Ooh, that's cool.
Well,
He didn't do anything wrong. He was asking basic questions. And for the record, if somebody told me that they were educated by life, I'd write down no education history on there too.
Well, I don't see why your ignorance is better than his.
Ruin. They were talking about formal education.
That was the question.
I am just tired of the classism that exists here.
But see, being taught by life is just something that happens. Everyone is a student of life.
No, not
it's
everyone learns from
meaningless
their
to say that you
experiences.
are.
Not everybody learns from their experiences.
Which is almost, but like
That's a fact.
most people do.
Okay. Theological debates aside, whatever we're debating here. You stand to destroy every single good thing we have brought to this town. Okay? Acquisitional amnesty, that thing you are under, that is what is going to be on trial as a result of your actions. Not that you did anything wrong, but that it can be spun that you did something wrong. Being belligerent will not help right now. Being belligerent might get your entire country killed.
I thought we were being entertaining.
I think you're being dangerous.
You know, Ruin, it's funny you say that because every time you think you're being entertaining, it's a pain in the ass for me. It's a real fucking pain.
I am
I have to
definitely
walk on
entertained.
eggshells with
I
you
am-
to
I
make
am
you sure you
sure-
don't blow up the fucking town.
I am sure there are
Reverend,
some
I'm
sadists it
really
is
sorry,
incredibly
Reverend.
entertaining to.
Not trying to
Okay.
make it hard for you.
Oh, I'm interrupting. an
I'm really
apology.
sorry.
Well,
I'll try to be
everyone,
better.
Just again to put things in perspective, Mr. Lampwick. If you are us, all of this is lunacy. I know you have something.
I am aware.
You have case law that you're trying to bolster, and you have opinions that you are trying to sway. We have not been given any knowledge of this. We know not what the papers say. We are just literally have been here for hours.
And
you
it's
are telling me,
unfair, and
you-
it's wrong, and it is
yes,
so
So-
terrible. And I'm so sympathetic to your situation, and I know everything in your life was just stolen from you. That's what it is. It was stolen.
So if my life has been
Harold
destroyed,
Gelfos
why should I
came
care
down.
about your
No.
case?
Harold Gelfos came down to the town you were in, the town Revenant lives in, and he deliberately lowered the price of the property and then purchased it and then ripped it from the earth, separating all ties with the ground. And by our laws, it is completely legal and it is completely wrong. Have some compassion for the people who have been screwed over for him as well, by him as well. We are working to sway public opinion on this. We are. But before all this happened, you three combated people. And you had every right to. You killed people who are literally poaching your god. You're the god of your town. That is understandable. You did the right thing. But to everyone else here, they think you killed a hardworking father of 3. That's what it's being spun as right now.
Well, again, we have not been able to read these papers. And for us to read the papers of a totalitarian dictatorship that has now displaced an entire city.
Technically, we're a theocracy. We are ruled by a god.
And he has not been poached, I assume.
No one's poached the God King. But
now there's an interesting thought. Is the God King like other
no. You want to discuss that? You do not discuss it around me. Okay?
Understood.
There are some things you don't discuss. Interesting note.
We'll talk
I would like to draw your attention to this invention, this biotech invention in this room. Okay?
Yeah, what is that?
And he pulls back a little curtain and shows you a little box. A box that contains what looks to be a tentacle that reaches up and over and wraps around a small squid-like beak that has odd wires just covering the inside of its open maw. And it has little, almost tooth-like structures on the side. And he fiddles with the tooth-like structures, and you hear voices start coming out of it. Voices and odd sounds. Like, they call it a squawky. But, yeah.
It looks disgusting.
Oh, it's gross. It's gross as hell. I remember when these things first came out.
Oh, I think it's kind of cute.
You would.
You would.
Oh, fuck you. What's that supposed to mean?
Let me find it. Let's see now. Here we go. That should be it. And so voices come out of the squawky, and it's a man talking. And we take a moment to listen to Professor Zero. Now, Professor Zero, can you give us your opinions on what recently happened to the golems in the Ailton Empire Embassy? We do not know the situations with which the golems in the estate were lost. Such is the tragedy of things. A close viewing of their chems indicate that they were destroyed by local rodents. It is a terrible thing that has happened here today. We mourn the loss of Carpenters 27, 64, and 85, as we would mourn the loss of any golem. My fellow golems deserved better treatment from the society with which we live in. Were they not forced to leave their chems outside of their bodies, they would have been able to defend those chems from rodents. It is a shame. Now, my understanding, it really is that you guys aren't really alive. It's like saying you killed a hammer. That is one way of viewing it true. However, the way I wish to view it, golems are in fact the only thing that can die in this world. We are sapient beings, but we go nowhere when we are destroyed. Therefore, we are the only things that die. Well, that's an interesting perspective. And he clicks over the radio again. And you hear a person. Now, as I understand it, I think these terrorists really just don't care about our values. They just, waltz in and kill honest, hardworking people. And he clicks it over again. And you keep on hearing these things. And these are things talking about your actions. And he gets done and he turns the radio off. You're all over the place. All over.
So what you're saying is what we need to do is launch a media campaign to sway the opinions of those who disagree with us.
No.
We don't belong in this courthouse.
There is one thing we can do.
Kill the god.
No. You do not discuss that with me.
That's where you were leading me.
No. It wasn't a group of 3 random people who went up and defended or attacked a father of 3. It was a limited liability corporation that was hired to defend a god.
Okay.
You're still in the period of acquisitional amnesty.
I mean,
which means you could forge some paperwork and it'd be perfectly valid. You could backdate your LLC, your limited liability corporation, for the day you 3 met. And then it's just a group of hardworking people trying to defend their way of life. And the ways of life of the people they're under.
You got a pen?
I already filled out the paperwork when I heard about this thing. I'm going to be dropping into Mind Top here as soon as I'm done with your interview.
I thought you couldn't leave this place.
I have my ways. Most people can't get to where you are. Now, Mind Top is currently floating in isolation. But you think I can't get around?
Yeah, you got to quarantine for at least 10 days when you're taking flights, I hear.
That is a weird thing to say, and I don't understand it a bit. You quarantine for a day when the towns take. Do you not know that? I thought that was made clear. I don't know what you're on about. Anyway. All right. So you 3 need to act very professional because Captain Brute is about to come in. Okay? You're not citizens who have been wronged. You are the board of an LLC who is here for questioning regarding your operations.
Just by chance, did you have a name for that LLC written on the paperwork?
I saved that. I figured you 3 might have an idea.
Sermos, I think you should be the president of the board.
If we could do a quick huddle, and then I just do so. All right, guys, we only got about 30 seconds here. We got to come up with a name for our fake LLC. Hit me.
I would say Defenders of the Gods' Honor.
The 3 Prophets.
Oh, I like that better.
I got an idea.
Prophets in a bar.
I got an idea.
You're not in this huddle.
Profits for profits.
Ooh.
Profits for profits.
All right.
You're not in this circle, but that is really good.
It's a really good one. But I like 3 profits.
You know what? Get in the huddle, and I bring him in.
Okay. Profits for profit, where it's just spelled differently at the end.
Ooh, can we
Yes,
put a
one
Z
of the
on?
different spellings of profit. Thank
Ooh,
you.
profits with a Z.
I want the Z on the one that's about money, and instead of a S, I want a $sign for the other.
Mhm.
Could you register the
hell's a
Hand of
dollar?
Agreement as an LLC so I don't have to
Wait,
join a
so-
business
wait.
with these 2?
Oh no, you don't have to do it as a business. You want to make that a separate thing. You're gonna want to make that a charity organization. I've already looked into your operations.
Oh,
Wait. Well, there's not a way to if
so
we
we
do
take
it.
donation.
Is that what you meant, Thermos?
Well, I mean, I want the profit, the first profit with the Z, and then the second one with a $sign for the F.
But there's
Or
no
not
for the
joining
app,
a
wait.
binding
That's
contract with
fuck's
you
a
with a company.
dollar?
We
No, this is why you were not invited to the circle in the first place.
Guardians
Nobody's
of
going
the
to understand that. Nobody here knows what a dollar is. We have
Wait,
marks.
I just did it.
Oh yeah, I see that there.
Also, can you explain the rate of exchange between a mark and a gold piece?
It's like $1 million or something.
Do you have about 2 semesters you can give me?
That's kind of the school of hard life.
Can you give me a TLDR? I'm pretty smart. I can figure it out if you give me the
TLDR?
skeleton to work with.
Most goods here are not as expensive as you would think, but also the exchange rate gets really weird. It's like 10 gold to a mark most times, but if you're actually just trying to exchange money for marks, it doesn't go well.
What about
Guardians of the
profits
Gods? What about we could be Guardians of the
profits
Gods?
for profits? And then we can do the $sign and the Z. If you ask me about a $sign one more time.
I was just gonna say, I don't know what $sign has to do with profits, for profits, other than profits is money. It's like clever, I guess, but it's kind of stupid. I don't want to join
I'm making
any contract with you that has a
No.
instead of an S.
You understand you want to avoid edgy right now, right?
Well, just call us the mayors of Lame Town then. The 3 mayors of Lame City.
I don't like that as
Mr.
much.
Lampwick,
But I want you to be the president. You don't want to be the president of Mayor of Lame City.
please help me. Please help me.
I'm helping you. Guardians
I'm gonna be
of the
honest with you
Gods.
guys.
Profits.
I already forged the paperwork. Like I already did it.
What's the name?
Profits for profit.
Okay, great.
I'll just write it.
Did you name Zermos as the president of our board?
You guys have to write up your articles of incorporation later. I can recommend a lawyer to you for the purpose of doing that.
I just feel like he is the best one for this because he's the most familiar with bureaucracy and nobility and frankly, entitlement.
Is Vandril up here with us?
Who's Vandril?
No, never you mind. Did we see him when we came up here? Because, he usually takes care of these things for me.
Yeah, see? I knew it. I knew that you had this handled.
We'll sort it out later. Profits for profit.
All right, and you guys hear a knock at the door.
Come in. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that?
In walks this half-orc woman with a long blue cloak, a leather helmet in the shape of a bird, almost like a bird's beak coming down, just covering her nose, and a uniform. Hello again, everyone.
I thought you were going to say a long blue clipboard, and I was going to burst into laughter.
She takes up the clipboard, and she looks at it, and she looks at the answers, and she throws it into the fireplace, and she sits down across from you, and she grabs a scone from the tray, and she gets a big old bite, and
help yourself, Jessica.
So who wants to go first? And that's where we'll take a break.
Awesome sauce. Let's see here. I love this music, though.
Are we breaking? I assume Ben would hop in to tell us we were breaking.
Yeah, take us to all together, Ben. All together, and then I'll bring you in. Give me a thumbs up if you took us all together. All right, welcome, Ben. It's break time.
Woohoo!
And I love this.
Are we actually irritating you, Jonathan?
No.
Okay.
No. Actually, no.
Candlewick seems very irritated. I was a little nervous. That we were
Candelario Lampwick.
Candelario, sorry. I keep calling him Candlewick in my head. I can't get it right.
Yeah, why would you think that from
Candlewick
his name?
is his father. Candlewick Lampwick. Good old double wick.
Gotcha. Double wick?
No, we're just taking a break. Actually, if you want, put us on starting soon.
Yeah,
And that'll
I'm
cut
gonna
all
get
the
another
audio.
beer. Do
Yeah,
I have
for
time
sure.
for that?
Yeah, for sure. Let's
Okay.
take 5. Be right back.
Sure.
Right spots? Yeah.
We better be in the right spots. All right. And it looks like we're back from break. If you're just tuning in, or if you're watching this post recording, post streaming, however we want to phrase this, I'm Jonathan. I'm the Dungeon Master for Nat One Heroes. We're a bunch of grown folks who still know how to play pretend, and we're really enjoying it. And last we left our heroes, they were required to give basic information about themselves to a sergeant, Sergeant
annoying
Legros.
bureaucrat.
A jerk sergeant.
Yes, like they gave him trouble on things like present address and weight.
He
and height.
reinterpreted our answers to be discriminatory.
You
Yes,
told
he did.
him your weight in stones.
Does he not have a
measurement
calculator?
of my people? Am I supposed to just meet all of this Elithian, whatever the stupid empire's name?
Ielton
Empire, the nation that has absorbed the town that you were in.
Yeah, they stole our town and our autonomy and our lives, and then they called us homeless.
Did he even tell us what his preferred unit of measurement was?
Thank you.
He did not. He just said weight. He didn't say weight in pounds, weight in stones, weight in kilograms. He didn't say.
He didn't give us any information.
I gave him my answer.
You didn't ask.
Why would we ask? He was the one in charge. We said not to ask him questions. He got very belligerent when we asked him questions.
I'm the one with the clipboard. I have the speaking clipboard. That was what. That's how he talked. The jerk.
Thank you, Zermos.
I will fight
I appreciate you having my back in this.
Yeah, that dude was a jerk.
So
if I don't go to jail, I will be so thankful to whatever god exists out there.
All right. So I think you guys did an incredibly good job of wrapping that up and explaining that. You haven't given that good of an explanation for things since I accused you guys of beating up a homeless person. So
he tricked us again. He made us.
He usually does. He's really good like that.
Yeah. So with that, I think it's time to see some more epic failure from you.
That is an apt description, unfortunately.
It's an incredible description. So now you are being interviewed by Captain Jessica Brute, who, through a mouthful of scone, is just going, "Who wants to talk first?" I won't go all fucking day.
I mean,
did you want to know something? Did you ask a question? I'm really sorry.
What is the question that you just walked in the room, sat down, ate our scones, you're having a cup of tea here, which is fine. I hope you're comfortable.
Okay, first of all, they're my scones and I let you have them.
Oh, so you give people scones and you just say that they're also
I love you,
yeah,
Zermos.
I take people's scones.
Miss Brute.
Exactly like you take people's lives, apparently.
Do you have any evidence for that?
Yes.
We are the representatives of the Profit for Profit LLC.
Oh, that's a good one. That is good. That's smart. You should go with that. Yeah, go with that.
We're God defenders.
We're God defenders. And we are hardworking people who are taking on the role of defending our town and our God.
I think I should also let you know that we already had another man in questioning regarding this situation.
Who?
William Thrasher.
Oh, very interesting.
William Thrasher, is he the guy who carries the shield with the eyes of
no, he's a really good guy.
I don't know about his battle gear. I believe he was wearing some very tasteful khakis when I discussed this with him.
That's
nice young man.
Khakis.
Tasteful khakis, nice little long sleeve polo, good for the weather.
Yeah.
That's very interesting that you have already taken his testimony. Is there anything of that testimony that you can share with us?
Good question, Zermos.
That is a very good question. Unfortunately, I can't.
Then why bring him up?
So that you know that I will know when you're bullshitting me.
Well, I mean, it seems that you have already made up your mind.
I haven't, in fact.
Well, would you like to hear the truth of the matter when it comes to Mr.
I'd also
William
like
Thrasher?
to hear this before we start. How did you three meet?
Oh,
I've been asking
he
myself
was
that question
helping.
for a
We were
while
helping
now.
him with his donkey, right, Revenant? Remember we helped him with his donkey?
Was it
Yeah.
like a sick donkey?
Well,
Well,
no, it was a donkey that was overloaded. So
Yeah.
this happened. How many days ago was this? I honestly don't remember.
Like a
like
couple
like
weeks.
6. No, it's not even been 6 days. We haven't even had like
We've
maybe
done a
4
lot.
days.
I feel like I've
Like
known you
4
way
days.
longer than 6 days.
Okay,
It feels like
we
a
don't
lifetime.
know an exact time. I'm just gonna say a few days ago, right? The circus came to Montauk, right? That's where I saw Ruin for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
After the circus show ended and we were all leaving the tent, there was some guy with a donkey taking up most of the road.
He was just
That
And
guy
whoa,
was
he just
Zermos.
needed some help with the donkey.
in my defense,
You guys couldn't go around him?
in my
No,
defense,
it's
it
the
was
whole
a
road,
very
unfortunately.
narrow
Funny you
and
should mention
steep.
that.
It was a very narrow and steep road,
Yeah,
and me and the donkey were doing our best,
they were.
which wasn't good enough for these drunkards leaving their circus delight.
And Zermos felt embarrassed and got a little agitated, and so he just needed some
They
help.
were screaming profanity at me.
Well, you were. It's understandable that you got embarrassed, and that's why we were helping you. We got the donkey over to the side of the road. He was going at the speed of one donkey, which I felt was important. He defended his donkey. I thought that
The
was nice.
grade of the hill is inappropriate for something of a major city.
And you guys, what, decided to form a little troop together because of a traffic jam?
No, we were just we felt like we'd known each other and we had good skills to offer in order to help the town. They asked us for help and we felt like a good team.
Oh,
Well,
you
and then-
saw a need that needed to be met and skills that could meet those needs.
Exactly.
Well-
we saw the pain and
And
we came up with a solution to address it. That's what they tell you in business school.
there was also the screaming we heard.
There was a screaming.
Screaming.
Yeah, there was the guy that was being attacked that we defended.
Yeah, some weird one-armed man was being attacked by goblins, and
She picks up another clipboard and looks at it and goes,
How many of those
yeah.
do you have?
and she like picks up a dozen clipboards and shuffles through them and then puts them back under her chair.
Impressive.
It's a bureaucracy. You could tell.
It is.
It runs on
It sucks. It's awful.
Yeah, it runs on clipboards is what it looks like.
Who just, I might have a side business I want to offer to this town. Who manufactures the clipboards in this town?
Stauncher and Bear.
Hey guys, we're totally gonna start up our own clipboard business. These people love clipboards.
I think it's a good idea. We could do that after we could
overnight.
the profits for clipboards.
We'll talk after this.
So, okay. You know, I'll be honest with you. The only reason why I started hanging out with these two is because my employer told me to make sure they didn't fuck things up in town and to make sure they went on their way as fast as possible. For that, I have failed. But yeah, we decided to start a little group that does.
So you were
handiwork.
instructed to get rid of them, and you started a business with them.
Well,
that's a
or
failure.
didn't. Well, not my idea. I'll
Well,
just say that.
Well, I think you're leaving out.
You're
a good thing.
just along for the ride in all this mess.
I don't think that's true. Revenant has been really supportive. Like I have appreciated him
Critical.
a lot.
Critical.
He's one of the nicest people I've ever known. Like I don't think that's true. He's not along for the ride. He's
Well-
just he's diplomatic. He's trying to balance a lot of competing interests. So I just think that he's trying to be cautious about how he expresses his commitment to us.
Well, I think it's important to mention that the man that we saved on our first meeting turned out to have a case of vicious lycanthropy. And not only did we save him from his
I think
assault.
they make a cream for that now.
Well,
Revenant had
it's
to make
good.
the cream.
It's good that you told me this way after the fact. Thank you very much.
It's not
Well,
as
we used a different tactic. Not only do we save him from the goblins that were attacking him, but we also cured him of his lycanthropy
Oh,
by talking to Father Mayswell. If you want to write that on your clipboard.
I already have it on there.
Well,
And
that's good.
Revenant was the one who helped to make that solution that helped the cure the lycanthropy. So I mean, we
And
didn't do it
where
totally
is
out of the goodness
this?
of our hearts because Mr. Biggs, my employer, was infected, and
That
so
is
we
true.
were committed to his health. But we, instead of killing the werewolf, which was the easier solution, we decided to go through this harder solution to try and save his life as well, to also preserve Mr. Biggs's life.
Okay,
We
and
endangered
Mr.
ourselves.
We did.
The father, was it Father Mayswell?
Mhm.
Was this the
Mayswell.
man who set you guys up the mountain
Think
to
so.
handle things, as it
Well,
were?
after the incident with the werewolf, where we, instead of murdering him, we saved him and cured it.
Which
Father
one?
Mayswell, the next morning,
Did you consider murdering the werewolf?
No, we did not.
I don't know why that's relevant.
We did not.
Well, so what I will say is we did not want to rule it out in case he was going to be a danger to himself, others, or the surrounding town.
I agree.
That seems like a reasonable decision.
If he became
But
dangerous, we were ready to save the town.
That's right.
Mrs. Brute, if I may,
Captain Brute,
one thing,
if you will.
Captain, oh, I'm so sorry.
Miss
No
Captain
disrespect intended. So I'm not really allowed to spread wanton slaughter and murder. My God really frowns upon unnecessary death. So,
Same.
you know, like, I've been trying to, like, I see the good in everyone, right? And the werewolf
He
guy,
really does.
Mericus,
Revenant
He
really
does.
does.
He does.
Mericus,
He's always
Mericus
so
was
kind.
struggling. He was a
Yeah.
struggling vagabond. But yeah, that's why this whole situation I feel is like a big misunderstanding. And if you hear
Agreed.
us out, I'm sure you would.
I
you
am
would see our
here
side.
to hear you out. That is why I am here.
You're here to hear us out. That's why.
But Revenant's
is
the kind of
beautiful.
guy who will give you the shirt off of his back.
It would be
always
way
being
too
thoughtful.
small.
Yeah, it would only for you, Annie, but for other people, it's the gift, it's the thought that
Stop
matters.
talking me up.
Ernest.
I don't need to be talked up. Stop.
Well, you are.
Let
I
us
mean, I don't
continue.
say this much, but you are splendid as a companion.
It's true.
There's a time and a place. I appreciate you, but I feel like this is a bit important. So
It is.
let's, from the point where Father Mayswell, after the day after we cured Mericus the werewolf of his lycanthropy, Father Mayswell said that there were some people who were poaching and hurting the town's goddess, she who
Yes.
swims the mountains.
Yes.
Now, what is she exactly?
Well,
So what kind of answer are you looking for?
she's a goddess.
Okay.
She, the form that we interacted with her in is in the form of what you would probably perceive as a large, elongated catfish. Hey, you tighten up your lips.
I'm sorry. It's just, I already had that in my notes, and the hesitancy with which you said it, like you were ashamed of it almost.
Well, there's a lot of judgmental people in this town, as we have
There's a
learned.
lot of judgmental
There's a
people here.
lot, and I'm sorry for that. It sucks ass around here.
Yet you are one of them.
Oh,
hey,
yes.
hey, she's not. She hasn't shown any judgment yet.
Oh, I'm judging the hell out of some people right now. But you know what? I can put it aside.
That'd be great.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to be putting it aside.
We were told by Father Mayswell that she who swims the mountain, or old Jessie, was under siege, and she needed protecting.
His exact words were, "She's dying."
Correct.
Oh,
he
is concerning, isn't it?
And he, me and him had a conversation. Revenant was there. He heard the whole thing. He asked me if I knew what it was to know when a god is afraid. And that really struck a chord, but that really put a sense of urgency on the entire group after I relayed this information to Ruin. These people were threatening, and the god feared for its life.
I should mention that the reason why it's so important, in particular, that this god was threatened. I know you guys probably don't care about gods' well-beings, seeing as you have a menagerie of them up here.
As a
But-
general rule, no, but I care.
But she who swims in mountains is an integral part of the Silverbone ecosystem.
Agreed.
Yes.
Without her,
She purifies and even generates the water for the area, doesn't she?
She does.
someone knows their history.
There was an environmental impact survey done on the area that seems to have largely been ignored by some people.
Mhm. Well, and I also, in addition to her services that are, of course, deeply desired and appreciated, I have a personal value of autonomy. One does not capture, diminish another being, whether they are a small creature of the forest or a god or goddess. It's just simply unacceptable.
Ruin, unfortunately, I think in this place, you definitely can do that.
I understand. I just fully 100% disagree and do not in any way stand to support it.
Your objection is noted.
Well, after Father Mayswell informed us of the assault on this goddess, he informed us that we should strike out as a group and defend her and save her from these
Yes.
pursuers.
So you were hired by a local to save this goddess.
Correct.
In our capacity as the members of our LLC.
Correct.
That makes sense. And she nods. And your lawyer nods as well.
Oh my gosh. Yay. My heart lifts.
Nervous, are we?
Well, how would you feel if all you did was your job and you stand trial?
I would shit the bed.
And then also to be judged for who we are and how
You're
we
doing
live.
great. You're doing
Very
great.
painful.
Well, you have to understand that as a member of the guard, Sergeant Bruce's job is to judge you. Not in an official capacity, but in a, ooh, who the fuck is this walking down my street? I'm in danger. Whatever the fuck he's thinking. You see, the advantage of people like Sergeant Latrobe is that they think in very simple ways. Like, I give him a little flow chart. It just says, it was you what done it, wasn't it? And, you know, I just have a little line that circles back to that over and over again. And, you know, by the time they're done with him, just talking to him, I get there to the scene and they're like ready to tell me everything so they don't have to deal with him anymore. I don't hire him because he's competent. I hire him because he can spell his own name and sometimes the names of others correctly.
Did he spell our name? It's in the fire. Never mind.
I believe he spelled Zermos with 3 Z's.
It kind of sometimes sounds like that though, because Zermos is a very like resonant voice.
He
and, like,
rolls the
Zermos.
Z's too, doesn't he?
If you have not learned to roll your Z's, then you will never understand tieflings as they truly are.
It's a resonant, like it kind of is a very moving like way to speak.
It's a racial trait to be able to roll your Z's that only tieflings can truly master.
That's fair.
Of course. So you go up this mountain. You go to Ansel's fortress. Ansel's
Folly.
Ansel's Folly. Good. Let me correct this.
Also known as Castle Ansel.
Maybe that's where the fortress got mixed in.
Yeah, that's a ruin, isn't it? A ruined place.
It is now, yes.
It is in disrepair.
Did you encounter no difficulties on your way in?
Does a horde of goblins count as a difficulty?
Oh, horde of goblins.
They were
funny. They were funny.
They were part of the same tribe of goblins that we had met earlier. So when we, cured the werewolf, so they were apprehensive at first, but they quickly gained our trust, and we trusted them. We were partners at that point.
A joint business venture.
The goblins also worshipped She Who Swims the Mountain, and they were more than happy to help us on our quest for freeing those who persecute and hurt their goddess.
Mm.
And
Engaging with common values. Good.
They actually did say that one of the attackers that we needed to defend our goddess against was a member of their group and had a very bad reputation for being a nefarious goblin.
I believe his name was
And
Goblin
you-
of the Betrayer's Heart.
You speak Goblin, do you?
Oh no, I didn't hear that. Zermos does. I speak Draconic.
Watch your mouth.
Sorry. Sometimes I get those two words confused. I apologize.
It happens, but damn, those are two rough ones to.
The inflection is everything.
I didn't even meet my own mother until. Damn.
I actually did that at a formal dinner one time, and it was not good.
Oh, no. Gotta be careful with that, especially around here. Okay.
Thank you.
So which one of you speaks Goblin?
That would be me.
All right. That's a useful skill. You might want to keep that in mind if you find yourself writing a resume.
Resume for what?
If your business venture doesn't prove profitable.
Well, if the more you get to know me, the more you will learn that I'm kind of an all-in person, and profits for profit is kind of the pony I'm backing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if someone wanted to hire profits for profit for Zermos's goblin speaking skills, that's something we would happily negotiate.
Yeah, we could write you up some an invoice.
Not
rather
really.
quickly.
We actually have a few goblins on the force.
But do they speak Goblin? Not everybody speaks their language that they
That's
come
very
from.
rude to assume that a goblin would speak Goblin.
It's true, right? Like
the goblins we have speak Goblin.
Fair enough.
That didn't follow for sure. What else do you need to know? I would like some dinner.
I have scones.
It's not dinner.
Then she knocks on the door. Latro. Yes, miss. Yeah, go pick us up something. I don't know what. You want something like you want soup good, or what are we talking about? They got this one little place that sends them out with like bread bowls.
Oh wait, those bread bowls that Zermos likes. That's a good idea. Let's get some with the cheesy broccoli.
This place has bread bowls.
I mean, the place I'm talking about does. They do carry out.
We'll take 6.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. 6.
Okay. Bruce, go pick up some bread bowls and
6.
some for enough for the station.
Enough for the station is 6, because bring all those to us.
Yeah.
Bruce, make sure they get 6 in here, okay?
Thank you.
Extra.
Okay, dinner's taken care
Captain
of.
Brute.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate that. It'll be easier to focus now.
I believe it. Do you have
Hunger
trouble
is a
focusing, Miss Ruin?
Just when I'm hungry.
I completely understand. And you hear your lawyer scoff a little bit. And he's like, she gives him a side eye. All right. So going down into Castle Ansel. What kind of difficulties did you face with that? Couldn't have been easy. It's a old place abandoned for hundreds of years.
Well, there were closed passages, obviously, from where the castle had fallen in on itself. We avoided those for the most part. There was poison, a touch poison that was left on one of the doorknobs.
I can't imagine that was 200 years old. Do you have any guesses as to what caused that?
I don't know. How fresh does this look?
Oh.
Yes.
Could I have that for the evidence locker?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's not like I'm going to use it for anything.
All right, and she takes it from you, and she takes out another clipboard, and she just writes something down really quick, and she tears it off, and she hands it to you. That's a receipt. You can pick that up at the end of the investigation.
All right.
And she like puts it in. She's got a fancier clipboard that's metal that is enclosed, and she pops it open and puts it in there.
Do you have like fingerprint analysis available at this institution?
What?
Oh,
Who
wait,
told
that was
you
your...
about that?
No, pay that no mind. Pay that no mind.
All right. So, poison on the door. What comes after that?
So we were walking down a hallway, just a very standard-looking hallway with a bunch of skeletons in a unintelligible pattern on the floor. And then Miss Ruin tried to read a symbol that was written in wax on the floor, and it animated the skeletons, and it sent the world into what I could only assume is a pocket dimension specifically designed to kill people.
Yeah, it really didn't seem... It seemed pretty hostile.
It was an obvious trap to kill anyone following the people hunting this goddess.
That scroll that does that costs at least 500 marks retail. That's some pretty serious money for something like that. Must have expected some serious...
Well, it sounds like the people who were poaching this god were seriously funded.
Yeah, I think they were. They had a lot of equipment, it seemed like.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
And they had well, I'll get to that later.
I have to assume you survived?
We did.
Yeah, quite
We're
easy.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, between Ruin playing croquet with all the skeleton skulls, and then me and Revenant decided to destroy the sigil on the floor. That's the only way that we would have survived the room. It was enclosing every, I don't know, 6 seconds.
Darkness, yeah.
And it was...
I'll keep you in mind if I need a partner for the next doubles tournament.
It was impressive. It was impressive, the amount of danger in that specific room that we had to face to free this goddess.
Yeah, that was definitely that was the sketchiest part, I think.
So, I interviewed some of the offending party earlier. Tell me about the puzzle.
Oh, the puzzle was so easy. I almost figured it out immediately. You push a button, the timer counts down, you wait till the timer hits 0, the door opens. It's not a puzzle. It's just impulse control.
Revenant, it's not so much the puzzle was easy, it was that you were pretty smart and observant.
She's...
Indeed. I understand that it took the other party a near full 24 hours. They report that they nearly went mad with it.
I mean, yeah.
As the puzzle's construction denotes, it is constructed to drive one mad. And had maybe us having a smaller party helped us navigate this part of the maze more quickly. How many people did you say were in that other party?
I believe there were 4 core members and 1 goblin auxiliary.
Yeah, I thought there was 5 in that group, but honestly, it wasn't our size of our
4
party.
plus
Skill
1
of our,
is
it was
5.
the skill of our cleric.
Yeah.
Size does not matter.
Yeah. Were you making a height joke?
Yes. Go with
That's kind of shitty of you.
I'll just let it roll off me at this point.
Yeah, understandable. All right.
You should hit the horn.
Revenant, you do know I wasn't making a height joke.
you complete the puzzle. What happens from there?
So we went down. This part's a bit fuzzy. I know there was a statue with what Zermos reported to be strange eyes.
I do remember that. They were
and-
purple. They glowed purple, and no one saw it but me.
And you see she kind of looks at a statue in the room. Just a little statuette. And she's like, yeah. Yeah. And she looks away from it.
It was a lot. It was larger than the one that you just glanced at. It was a large statue, and for the life of me, I swear the eyes glowed purple for only a moment.
You know, that's been a rumor on the street here lately. Citizens keep on telling me, well, I don't like calling people citizens. We're supposed to be citizens too, so I don't like differentiating. But people keep on telling me, you know, I bought this statue and its eyes were glowing, or something like that, or the statue in the town square's eyes were glowing, or statue in the pawn shop, and that's been all over.
Oh
the place.
my god! Shit! I just thought of something.
What's that?
It has to do with
Is it
Fortuna.
something you want to hear?
What have you
is
heard?
it something you want me to hear?
It's something I'm going to keep to myself. It's actually nothing to do with us. It's something to do with statue's eyes glowing. I think I figured it out.
It sounds like you figured out something important, and that's a conversation that should be a trade secret between you and your business partners.
Correct.
Yep. We won't make profit if we just give away all our secrets.
That is true.
It's true.
So
We are the prophets for profits, after all.
this room, was there anything else in there?
Yeah, there was. You know what a flame skull is, right?
Is that some sort of undead?
It's a tawny undead, usually neutral evil in most cases. You know, this one wasn't evil. If you know anything about Ansel's Folly, you know that the person who created the puzzle that drives people insane was a wizard named Rangol. And the Flame Skull was the resummoned Rangol.
Oh, how did you survive a fight with him?
Oh, see, we found a technicality. He was really
At
pissed
least
off.
Revenant found a technicality.
That is true. It was mostly Revenant whose brain solved this puzzle.
Yeah, no.
Because he was revived by the other party, right?
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, they weren't very specific with their demands. Apparently, they told him to hurt us, not kill us. So he just bit our fingers, and then his will was done.
Oh,
So-
an obstinate flame skull that turns on its mouth. Okay.
Well, I mean, we sympathized with him because, you know, he was summoned through a scroll magic, which is the most disrespectful type of magic. Like, no skill required. I'm rambling. Anyways,
All right, what
yeah,
happened
so-
from there?
if I remember correctly, then it's just a few more doors until we reach this big cavern where
Yes.
the 5 assailants, or poachers, sorry, of a she who swims the mountain, were at.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
These
we
5
were,
assailants, can you describe them for me?
One of them was a drow. One of them was a dwarf.
Hmm.
One of them was a child wearing a goatee and mustache.
What?
I believe someone said his name was Gronit Person.
What?
Are you familiar with this person?
And she starts flipping through some paperwork and she pulls out this little thing and she goes, well, I'll be damned. What?
You didn't.
Yeah,
you
we
didn't
thought
see
it was weird too.
It is
Don't worry,
weird.
We didn't hurt the kid. I didn't want to hurt the kid. He was crying.
God. Grown up person. Like,
Yeah, well, how
Like
does that
grown-up
fake name
person?
fly?
Yeah.
like
It's weird.
that's like having fake Namenton or something like that. That's like if I named myself Scone Clipboard at a random guess or something like that. Like,
Mhm.
what the hell?
It kind of seems like that other party had to know that he was a kid. Like, it's very suspicious.
I read it earlier, and then I was like, my eyes glazed over it. But what?
The final member of the party was this really buff guy.
Oh, yeah, Helgarth Smith.
Is that the dwarf?
No, that's Slate Lodestone.
Isn't the dwarf dead?
Well, you killed him. One of you ripped his throat out.
I can explain that, actually.
No. You were defending the goddess. I understand.
No, hold on. Before you go on, Revenant, before you go on. Was that everyone in the party? Did we name everyone for you?
There was also the goblin,
but you already mentioned him.
Yes.
I figured you only wanted to know about.
He was not a citizen of the Ialtan Empire and is not of any interest to our inquiries.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I left him out. So you might think that we decided to attack them because they had imprisoned the goddess in a crystal.
I have
a really good memory, and I know exactly what happened because I was the first person to react. That drow, what did you say his name was?
Tronic Derzek.
Tronic Derzek. Right? He, as soon as he saw us, cast a spell on us. Found out it was fairy fire, but by the time I found out what the spell was, I had already cast more spell in retaliation.
Well, Fairy Fire is a spell specifically meant to make you more vulnerable to attack. Like, it's so that people can find you and hurt you. Like, that is an act of aggression.
We were under the assumption that he was marking us to be targets for his compatriots to murder us there in the cabin.
If it was just him casting Fairy Fire on us, maybe we could have still talked things out. But then all of them turned their weapons on us. I cast Ray of Sickness out of reflex. I was scared. I'm in charge of the safety of Ruin and Zermos, in my own opinion. I've appointed myself because they came to my town. I want to make sure they're all right.
And your business partners.
I can't guarantee their safety if I don't know what spell someone's going to cast on us. So I retaliated. I didn't mean to cause him such pain. I thought it would be a lot quicker.
Well, if you didn't mean to cause him too much pain, you should know that his policy did allow for him to be revived. And I trust you're pleased with that.
Yeah, I am happy about that. I hope he doesn't hold any grudges against me. That kind of gives me a little anxiety.
He has been warned against what grudges mean, especially now that you are Ialtan citizens.
So everything's okay, right? Well, I mean, okay between him. Like, he's not gonna, hold any malicious intent towards us, will he?
He will be getting some reminders of what malicious intent will result in my town.
Okay, well, then that puts me at ease. But yeah, so about the dwarf, what did you say? Lodestone, Mr. Lodestone?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He shot several crossbow bolts at us. Hitting Revenant at least once, as I remember.
You know, I did
Do you
almost
have
die.
any wounds you can show me with regards to this?
Well, I healed myself, but it's scarred over, and he's gonna. There's like a perfect circular scar on her shoulder.
In the shoulder, yeah.
And you see she makes a mark on her clipboard.
I'm going to take my shirt off so she could see all the wounds.
Oh, Ruin,
I did not just see that coming. Okay.
Ruin, you are not allowed to just disrobe. This is not the circus tent.
I'm wearing pasties.
That's not clothing, Ruin.
I was ravaged by that. You had to heal me from death twice.
That is true. Write that down on your clipboard.
Do not see the massive wounding.
You had to be saved from death. Okay.
If it weren't for my healing skills, we would have lost Ruin.
Also,
that
who did your ink on your lower back? I like that. That's nice.
Oh, I'll give you their name. I don't know. They're not in the Ailton Empire, but they're quite good.
Okay. Well, the way things are going, they might eventually be.
Well, was
That is
that
heartbreaking.
in
I'll put my
Yeah.
shirt back on.
in the report that you heard from the other person? Did they say anything about the crossbow bolts that went into Revenant, or the deep scars left in Ruin?
They didn't mention scars, but they mentioned attacking. Yes.
So I want to explain myself on the dwarf thing. I had no idea that was going to happen. I
Are you
genuinely
referring
didn't.
to how you ripped his throat out?
I
With a magic
didn't.
spell?
I didn't rip his throat out. I didn't intend to do that. I intended to stop him. He was running though so fast that when the spell went off,
And
it-
the lawyer raises his hand. I would like to point out that the man was firing while running.
yes, he was firing at me.
He was running behind some sort of cover, I assume, to give him some sort of advantage for his next attack. He was not running away in fear. He was running as a
This was-
strategic reason.
Yeah, this was a repositioning. This wasn't running
Correct.
away.
Correct.
So, you know, he shot me with the crossbow bolt. I said, all right, mate, you want to play that game? And so I cast Chill Touch, which is a spell that, in most normal circumstances, painlessly kills.
Oh, we call it strangling grasp here.
Yeah. So you know what it does. It's not that painful.
Oh, it's
all things
nasty.
considered.
A 302 can be one of the nastiest ways to go.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! What?
Well, he was
I've heard so many people.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like he was on death's
I'm sorry,
door
I
when it
shouldn't
happened to
laugh,
him.
but yeah.
He wasn't on death's door when it happened to him. He was completely spry and healthy enough to shoot at us. So the chill touch shouldn't have killed him, but apparently it did. That's
Death
not
was
our fault.
instantaneous, though, or can attest that death was instantaneous.
He yeah. Maybe it's just best you think that. So,
Fuck. I really need to brush up on my medical skills.
yeah, wouldn't hurt to take a refresher course down at the Learning Annex if you wanted
But
to.
to be entirely honest, I'm not all one for autopsies, right? I can't declare a body dead, but I can bring you back to life. So maybe I'll need to relearn.
If you can't
things.
declare a body dead, how do you know whether or not to bring them back to life?
Exactly.
Well, because sometimes you might be in a coma, right? But it's a coma that looks like death. Then do I bring you back to life or do I resuscitate you?
And the answer is yes.
Well,
would you like to hear how
This
we
has been-
freed the goddess from her imprisonment?
actually, yes, because that's curious, because I understand that there are specialized scrolls for that sort of thing. She was encased in a crystalline structure.
A cylinder of crystal, in fact.
So, we the goblin was still alive. Now this was a bit cruel of me, but we needed the information. I cast Spare the Dying on them, so that they wouldn't bleed out while we talked to them.
And you see your lawyer just turning and looking at you.
But they were already about to die. There was nothing that could have been done to save them.
And she nods.
We just so we asked the goblin how to free the well, Zermos asked. Well, I don't know what the goblin said. So I'll let Zermos tell this part.
Well, once I started to interrogate him, he revealed that it was the scrolls on the floor that were the reason that the goddess was still encased in the crystal. And there was one marked do not open until you reach the menagerie that we found, and we use that scroll to free her from her prison.
Oh, speaking of, this seems in incredibly poor taste, but the menagerie heard of your difficulties, and this seems like a shitty thing to do, but they asked me to give these to you, and she puts 3 little tickets on the table.
Is that tickets for the menagerie?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that a
it seemed in
ticket
poor
to visit?
taste.
It is really
Yeah.
poor taste.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You might want to take a look at it to see what sort of thing is up with that. I don't think you can really appreciate that sort of place without seeing it for yourself. And at
And
least this
can
way
I ask
you're
a
not
hypothetical question?
at least this way you're not buying a ticket and supporting them.
No, right? It's true, Candlewick.
Yeah.
Can I ask Candlewick a
Yes.
question?
Yes.
Can I
yes.
can I sidebar with you?
Oh, you need a moment to speak to me? But good client lawyer confidentiality,
Yeah.
Captain. Give us a moment, please. We need to discuss a few things, if you'll give us a moment. And Captain Brute stands up and she starts to walk out the door, and then she turns back and she takes another scone and she walks out the door.
Help yourself.
If
They're
we
my
go to
scones.
that's fair. Not worried about the scones. If we go to the menagerie,
Goblin giver.
can we get an idea about how to get those trapped gods out?
No.
I don't want
we
to
do
be
it as
part of
an-
this conversation because it might incriminate me.
This is a very incriminating conversation.
I
Mr.
lawyer
Williams.
confidentiality. We're
And I don't think anyone should be having this conversation ever. And they certainly shouldn't have it in seedy little bars or anything of the sort. And he like takes a little matchbook from his breast pocket and puts it on the table and says, and looks to the device you saw on the wall and says, it's definitely a bad idea. And I would not recommend discussing it any further to anyone ever.
I feel fully chastised.
And like
Thank
he
you for your
grabs your
advice.
hand and he like puts the matchbook in.
Oh no,
your
I'm gonna take that for sure, and I'm put it in my secret pocket in my my little leather vest.
You got your super cloak.
That's right. Oh, I should be using that. You reminded me. I am going to change into something that makes me look like a golem.
No.
Weren't you wearing leather armor just a second ago? You know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Thank you for your advice.
Yes, you're very welcome. And he looks at the device again and he looks back at you. Okay. So, you ready for me to bring the captain back in, or are there any other things I should advise you against doing?
Probably many things, but that's all I'm asking about.
I mean,
don't jaywalk. Make sure you pay for anything that you get at the store. Don't walk backwards while eating. That's not actually illegal, but you know, it's a bad idea.
That's true.
I mean, Revenant, do you have any ideas for, I don't know.
Mr. Zormos, you keep crossing and uncrossing your legs. Do you need to be excused for a minute?
Well, I mean, I've had several cups of tea. It's very boring in here, and
You're an adult, Mr. Zormos. You can just say, where's the bathroom in this place?
Well, I didn't know it would take this long.
Right down the hallway, Mr. Zormos.
I'll return.
All right. You two seen any good plays lately?
Well, the last play I went to was in the Kidney Opera House. I forget what I saw.
I bet it was Un Paio Mascaro.
I've never heard of that one.
It's an old German opera.
The fuck's
quite
German?
delightful.
What's German?
Yeah.
It's a form of Draconic.
Oh, those Draconic operas are amazing. I love them. The characters and the obsession with gold, and you know, the love stories and the obsession with gold.
Yeah, they're definitely obsessed with gold.
Yeah.
I'm mostly in plays. I haven't seen any other than the dress rehearsals. But Oh,
My father was a big fan of plays. I didn't care for them as much. Now that he's gone, I wish I really could have connected with him on it, but it is what it is.
Those are the regrets we have to face when we lose our loved ones.
Mr. Zarmos, did you wash your hands?
Absolutely. And then for all of your clipboard needs, just hit me up after when I'm done with this. I'm sorry. I saw a nice young man in the hallway who looked like he needed a few clipboards in the future.
I like how you're always representing us. Like you represent us against threats, and you represent us in the more like opportunities for our business. It's a great thing. I appreciate you.
Advocacy and hard work are the two cornerstones of our organization.
Yeah.
Now, are you ready for me to bring the captain back in?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Mr. Revenant? Dr. Revenant.
Mr. Doctor.
Yeah.
Mr. Doctor.
Dr. Mister. Oh God, it's catching. It's catching. Your bullshit is catching.
So
It's not
I
bullshit.
am a doctor. I'm a little off my game tonight. I've been I haven't slept in like 3 days. I'll be honest with you. So I probably did know all that stuff about chill touch and just forgot it. But I am a good doctor.
Yes. You know, I got a guy who can prescribe some sleeping medication if you need it. Like,
I just need something to drown
Is that
out
legal?
voices.
it's perfectly legal.
I don't know if I'm interested.
I got some other stuff in case you're interested.
Don't say that to me. Don't say that stuff to me. No.
If we can't say it to our lawyer, who can we say it to?
Say
No
what stuff?
one.
It's a fair
Oh,
Say
point.
what stuff?
I didn't know that was the rule.
That's the point. You can't say, hey, where can I get some illegal substances around here to anyone?
I didn't say that. What I said was I wasn't interested. It's not the same.
There was an implication.
You drew that conclusion all on
I
your
could
own.
successfully argue in a court of law if I was an opposing lawyer that there was an implication. Like, I could get that across to the magistrate.
But why would you?
Well,
You're our lawyer. You don't want to argue that?
I know
Well,
I'm your
then
lawyer.
well, you're on our side.
You're making it very hard to defend you is what I'm saying.
I thought we were doing really well.
I'm
thought
going
we
to
had a
get
good
Captain
rapport.
Brute, and I swear to the gods that are just fucked over constantly somehow nowadays. I swear. And he gets up and he walks out. And you
think we're
guys have a
irritating him.
moment alone.
I don't think that's good.
All right.
So
Situation check. I think we're going rather well,
I
honestly.
agree.
hey, you think we're going rather well?
If we're
Yeah?
gonna-
You object?
Yeah, mate? You think it's going grand? You think
Oh,
we're having a great time?
We
I
haven't
think we
gotten
put
accused
forth-
of belligerence once in this session.
I think we put forth a very strong case that we were defending a goddess.
And
I
we
don't know
followed
that.
the rules that our lawyer laid
Everything
down.
with Jessica Brute was perfect. But you can't say incriminating shit, not even to the fucking lawyer.
Yes, you can.
That's why I asked. I tried to be reasonable. I tried to ask her to leave, and
Just think.
I need you to give me some credit.
All right, you guys
One
hear a
nation.
knock on the door.
Up top. There we go. Where's
Don't
it?
say anything stupid.
I can't promise that.
All right. And both Jessica Brute and your lawyer, Candelario Lampwick, walk back in. And Candelario takes a seat beside you, and Jessica takes a seat across from you. And she's like, I can't help but notice my clipboard pile is entirely undisturbed. Thank you for not taking a look at any of these, informative documents while I was out. I really appreciate your honesty and your candor. And I just realized I have to step out to use the bathroom for like another 2 minutes. And she gets up and she leaves.
Hey, Candelario,
gonna-
can you make sure that she knows exactly which restroom to use? Make sure no one harasses her on the way.
That sounds like a great idea. And he steps out and he goes
I
out.
cast Hold Person on Zermos.
I'm gonna immediately look at the clipboards that we were invited to look at.
Okay, roll me investigation. And
Wait,
you
I don't
were
have Hold
specific-
Person prepared. I can't.
Oh, Mikey, you get to roll investigation too.
Oh, good. I would
D20?
prefer that. My investigation did not go up.
For the audience, I would like to say, like, Revenant says hold person and holds his hand out and doesn't have any somatic components prepared. But Zermos is so used to being just dogpiled by Revenant that he holds still for just a moment before realizing he can move.
It's totally fair. I got a 6 on my investigation.
I have a 20.
Yes, I love you.
All right. Names of the
Little
people
one, you
involved.
watch the door.
Holgar Smith, Slate Lodestone, Trent Duzrunk, Gronet Person. Gronet Person is written on there. It is now underlined. And it said possible labor laws and international treaty violations written beside it. It talks a little bit about you, labels you a druid, labels all of you as prophets, discusses a few different things, goes into a number of things. And since you got a 20, I'm going to flip through and see if there's any other information I can give you. It does talk about the murder of the Brassfang golems, and it does mention no official reason to believe involvement. All right. Revenant, it mentions that you have been targeted and sort of propositioned by Monsieur d'Artagnan Mortier. And Monsieur d'Artagnan Mortier is underlined, and it's like creepy Colosseum fuck.
Creepy Colosseum fuck.
All right, guys. So what I've gathered from the information on this is I think we're mostly in the clear. They have a little bit of doubt on us when it comes to the golems. Let's maybe downplay that as much as possible. And
I'll change my outfit.
Revenant, don't mention the Jatar something. I can't read what this says. Just don't mention that, maybe.
Mr. D'Artagnan?
Yeah, let her bring that up. Don't volunteer that information.
Actually, I wasn't going to bring that up with anyone because it's my fucking business, mate.
And on Ruin, it has a few notes on her, things you know, and it also says subject of prophecy of the damned, recording C023, held in East Wing.
Recording C023.
There's a bit here about you, Ruin, but I'll let you see for yourself.
And Zermos, you don't understand what this is about.
When I read that, I go, wait.
And Ruin remembers the prophecy she was given by Isabella, the fortune teller, who had before never told so much as an inkling of a prophecy in her entire life.
It was frankly very creepy.
What do you remember about the prophecy?
Oh, that honestly, it feels like it relates to the city because it had something to do with this, like the city being moved into the sky. And I have to go look at my journal, but.
And I just want to say that Zermos, because his 4th level feat is observant, he memorizes all of this. He can memorize up to 100 pages in a very short span of time.
You have the entire stack memorized. You will be able to recall on this information as necessary. And because you got a 20, you'll be able to recall on it without having to roll.
Excellent.
I pulled it. I got my journal. The prophecy was town of waning silver, a man of the gilded empire has set his sights there. He undermines their foundation to unearned height. That's what makes me think of the city. Fate lies broken here, eyes cracked and hazy, and more doom and gloom, but I don't totally remember. To ruin all shall turn, else they burn.
And you feel the world almost pause around you. All 3 of you do. And you hear the voice again, and you're not sure where it's coming from. On the town of waning silver, a man of the gilded empire set his sights, There he undermined their foundations and brought them to unearned heights. Subjugated and subjected, they all will be brought low by a creature without body. Fate has been broken, her eyes cracked and hazy. The stone gives the bodiless threat power over her. To ruin, all must turn, else the world be left to burn. And everything in the room goes back to normal, but you all three heard this, and you don't recognize the voice, except for you, Ruin.
Yeah, I've heard this one before. That was exactly it. Do you see what I mean? Creepy.
Yep.
And the prophecy of the damned makes it sound even creepier, honestly.
And
the eyes of Fortuna hide behind a purple haze.
And you hear a knock at the door.
Psst, 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 psst. Everybody back to your places. Come on in. We are all dressed and ready.
Captain Brute goes, is there a reason you guys would not be dressed?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you
Miss
just
Ruin? Why have you changed clothes?
Are you shaming people now?
Do you like it?
I
have this is my sparkly performance outfit. I thought it would bring a little lightness to our conversation.
Where did you have that?
It's actually a cool feature of my cloak.
I thought it was a feature of your. Okay, as the DM, it's a feature of your
armor.
Feature
my armor. Sorry, my cloak is something else. I apologize.
Okay, you said armor. Okay.
Yes, I meant to say armor. I wasn't trying to be tricksy.
It's okay.
Because the light would have lit up.
That's neat. Wow. The advantages of being self-employed, huh?
Yeah, you can wear whatever you want to work. I like it. So
you're going to write that off as a business expense when you have to do taxes this year?
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep. We will totally put that down as a business expense. Wink,
oh God,
wink.
You guys nudge, don't have an accountant, do you?
We do have one.
Ourselves.
We usually take care of things ourselves, but if you have someone in mind.
And she looks at Candelara and she goes, "You didn't tell them to get an accountant?" It's like, it didn't come up yet.
He can't think of everything. That's not fair.
He's a lawyer. He's supposed to think about.
We're shopping
unfair. Okay. I appreciate you guys not touching my clipboards while I was out. That was very considerate of you.
That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you save the god, come back down, probably expecting a hero's welcome, I expect. What did you find?
Not so much a hero's welcome as a group of surveyors outside right at the border of the city limits who were measuring and precisely measuring the limits.
They were
of
surveying. The surveyors were surveying. Okay.
I didn't want to say the same word in the same sentence. It felt off.
Oh,
but they were measuring the exact boundaries.
I have a note here that says that in the night before you came down, you met with a concerned citizen of the Ailton Empire who is not identified. Right?
Did they describe this person?
No. As a matter of fact, you brought it up to me earlier, so I would have no idea of knowing about this, would I? Otherwise.
That citizen is probably Vandrel.
Yeah. But I want the record to show that you did have a conversation with a concerned citizen of the Ailton Empire that night, who shall remain nameless, and who definitely did not use druidic means to contact you, and who definitely did not use possibly frowned upon substances to achieve a state with which they could speak to you by meditating to enter the druid circle.
No, I mean, if I had such a conversation with a person of that ilk, of that type, the conversation was so long ago and so waxing and waning, I don't know if I would be able to recall the particular details of said conversation.
And definitely not the exact person.
It was very hazy that night. hard to tell who I was speaking with.
Very hazy. Thank you, Zarmos.
Bing! He winks.
She winks back. And
can be
Candelario is
taught.
like, just got his head in his hands. All right, so no heroes welcome, surveyors.
Correct.
And is this where you confronted Harold Gelfos?
Sort of. We confronted him.
I need to know one thing.
What's that?
Did any of you lay a hand on Harold Gelfos?
No.
Not that I recall.
No, not that you recall. No, we did not. Don't say suspicious shit like that when we didn't do anything like that. What are you
Zarmos,
trying to do?
I need you to say that you did not lay a hand on Harold Gelfos. There is a lot of leeway I can bring to this. There is a lot of public opinion that can be swayed. But if you laid a hand on an actuary, literally somebody who answers to a god, I need to know.
No, we didn't.
Okay. Zarmos?
I mean, no.
Thank you. I will not be asking any questions like, did you want to, or did you try? I will not ask those questions.
Yes and yes. Good thing
I
you
will
did not
not ask those questions. And because I did not ask them, I don't have to record the answer.
Perfect.
I think I can spin this to work out. Tell me, did you hurt his bodyguards? The thrashers who were hired.
We did.
Can I ask you a question in
completely
response?
honest and say I did not lay a finger on Harold. I did not lay a finger on the thrashers. Right? My main concern was with my cursed employer. So
how would you describe this curse she was under?
It's quite simple, you know. It's a tactile activated curse that's been put on a pen. I think I still have the pens, right?
Do you have the pins?
I think I do. I think I would have definitely
as the
taken
DM. I said,
you did keep those. I remember that you kept.
I'm gonna take out both pens, and I'm gonna make sure not to touch the one that's cursed without the one that breaks the curse.
She opens up her little box, and she writes down a receipt for you, and she hands it to you.
Yeah, I've seen these kinds of pens before. They usually curse you to write something like a signature. It's something I've seen in the Underdark, the seedy underbelly of the Deep Down Under. You know, it's not a great place down there. Yeah. So my main concern, Harold had paralyzed Ruin and Marcel with a red potion. The Thrashers came in. Zermos was dealing with the Thrashers.
I imagine he felt very antagonized given that his business partners were.
Well, this was obviously a sign of aggression that he used magic against my party. And not a benevolent way, but in an antagonistic way.
Is that when he left?
That is when he left. But before he left, he put a bottle of what was the liquor he gave Revenant?
I don't remember the name of the liquor, but it was some good shit.
I'm just gonna take out the half bottle of liquor. He put this on my head and left me to just sit there.
It was a sign of
looks
mockery.
at the evidence locker and she's like, I would be a cruel bitch to take that from you.
Yeah, please don't. At least let me drink it.
And she takes it and she pours some in a glass and she then hands it back to you and she good shit.
So
there are several glasses on this table.
And you hear another knock at the door.
several glasses on the table.
Open. She just pours for everyone.
Ah, thank you.
And at that moment, Bruce walks in with your guys' order. And it's sure enough, it's bread bowls filled with hearty.
Welcome to Bread Bowl City.
Cheesy soup.
Excellent.
And it's got you got just cheap pressed metal cutlery.
Not the finest cutlery, but it will do in a pinch. Thank you, Brutus. You have been most kind.
Didn't your records say that you were homeless?
Yes, because you were the one in charge of taking the record keeping, weren't you? Thank you, Brutus. You may leave.
And she nods to him, and he leaves. So.
Nothing better than a Red Bull.
All right. So, did you see Harold Gelfos, the actuary, after that?
I did. So Zumos had figured out that to break the potion's effect, he need only damage the paralyzed target. So he hit Ruin, freeing her from the potion, and then I got whacked on the head by a thrasher for doing literally nothing but standing there. And so I was free, and then the thrashers stopped everything and said something about their contract being completed. So I took that to mean.
She looks at another clipboard. And she's like, yeah, they were only under contract to defend Mr. Gelfos until he got outside of the city.
But the thing is, he wasn't outside the city yet. I actually caught up to him before he left the border of the city.
See, according to my notes here, you caught up with him because he was on a smoke break on the border outside the city.
I saw him cross the border, though.
Huh. Whatever magic they were using to check their contracts must have been a little glitchy. Well, that's their problem.
It sounds like they were in breach of their contract, if that's what their contract was.
I'm not out to enforce tort law.
So, regardless, the only reason why I caught up to Mr. Gelfos, right, was because he didn't remove the cursed pen from my employer. I care deeply about Lady Falwell. She took me in when I had nothing, right? So my main concern, I have no ill will towards Harold at all. He seems like a fine individual. I'm sure he and I could be friends under different circumstances. But I needed to break the curse, so I was talking to him. He recommended I'll get a lawyer. He recommended that I give this pen, and I point to the curse-breaking pen, to Lady Falwell. And that's the last time I saw him.
All right. Was there the usual barrier at the city limits?
Yeah. It felt like pressing my face up against stone-cold walls.
And that's when your city was lifted into the air, wasn't it?
Yeah, around that time.
So, was that when you three decided to go to the Ailton Empire Embassy to check in on things?
Yeah, so our original intention was to maybe ask some questions, just get a feel for what was going on, since we had no information whatsoever. We were directly instructed by Lady Falwell, so this was another one of our jobs as our LLC, to investigate the embassy, which we didn't know was an embassy.
Did you have anything to do with the destruction of some property of the Guild of Carpenters, namely a few golems?
how were the golems dispatched? Because we did meet the golems, and they didn't meet us with violence for asking them questions.
I think what happened is that you came up there and they were already destroyed.
Sounds. I mean, from
Sounds right.
And
as
they
far-
never attacked you because they only attack people who do things that go directly against their kim. And their kim was written very specifically in such a way that if they were attacking anybody, that person would have been clearly in the wrong. Do you understand?
the tiefling in front of you would have done nothing to harm or destroy one of the chems of these. I almost said druids again. These golems.
Good. That is good to know. And that is what you need to keep in mind going
Yeah.
forward.
I mean, there's a real big rat problem in Mointop.
Horrible,
So-
horrible rat problem.
I'm sure it has something to do with your catacombs and whatnot. Lots of places to
Absolutely.
hide. Coincidentally, if there were any sanctuaries in those catacombs with which an LLC might operate out of, I would not need to know about that. Do we understand each other?
Absolutely.
I understand perfectly clearly.
Yes. Now, I think we have gotten down to the bottom of this, and we have answered a lot of questions here today. And I think you three may finish up your soup and eat your bread bowls. And you may leave. If you want to explore around town, feel free to. If you would rather have an escort back to the teleportation circle so you can get back to Mindtop, you may do that instead.
I think I'm ready to go to Mindtop, but
Um,
actually, I would like to hang out in the town. Never mind. There's a-
yeah, I mean,
I want to go check out the local scenery and see if I can find like a place to get a drink.
Okay.
And
You guys-
I'm definitely going to finish my bread bowl before I walk out of
You
this
guys
yeah,
finish
absolutely.
up your bread bowls. They are okay. They are not as good as Denray Mayswell's bread bowls back in Mindtop, but they're okay. Zarmos, you think it's awful.
What a tragic attempt at something so basic and delicious.
If you had been able to go with her and explain to the people in the store how to make the bread bowl, I think it would have
And-
probably been better.
And I hope you guys all see now why I'm so specific with my instructions with people.
food
because-
is food. What does it matter? It tastes fine. It's just food.
To you, it probably tastes the same as the one that we had back at our
And you
favorite
guys are
establishment.
having this discussion going out.
Okay.
And you walk down the steps of the guardhouse, and down the steps is a small carriage capable of holding 4 people, you think, with black winged horses at the front and a coachman in a beautiful tailcoat up top with no head. And he looks down at you, Revenant, and he passes you an envelope with a wax seal of a skull and dice on it.
I open it.
RSVP, cocktail invitation, 5 minutes. Revenant, plus 2 guests. Monsieur D'Artagnan, by the courtesy of Monsieur D'Artagnan Mortier.
Is there like a checkbox for yes or no?
There is a coachman with no head pointing to the open door of his carriage.
Guys,
And I think that's where we'll leave off.
All together. Woo!
You doing okay, everybody? You like that? We
I'm
good?
feeling great. I'm feeling
Oh
great.
man.
Do you feel better, Revenant? Did we meet your needs a little bit better in the second session?
I'm just like so tired that I don't remember what just happened.
Well, before we start talking, let's also say good night to everyone. And
Yeah.
also let me say thank you to Sirenscape for the amazing background music that we got today. Thanks for everybody on YouTube and on Twitch for hanging out with us tonight and forgiving my sniffles and sneezes. By all means, head to patreon.com/not1heroes if you love the content that you've seen tonight. If you want to help us on our journey going forward. And anybody else? Parting words?
Yeah, sign up for Patreon and give us some feedback about how you like the story. Because I'm enjoying so much telling the story with this crew, and I really want to hear how you're enjoying it or what you're touched by or curious about.
Yep. And for the main campaign, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. But next Sunday we'll have something instead, maybe like a little video game stream or something like that.
It sounds great.
Mikey, you're muted. Thank you for not doing that during my main story.
Revenant, anything to leave us out on? Positive?
If you support us on Patreon, it will get me to work on my 5-shot faster.
Ooh,
You keep on promising that that's going to be the amount it is, and like
I call it a 5-shot because it's a minimum of 5 episodes.
Okay.
All right. It looks like we're all good here. So for everyone at the Nat One, we're in all together. Get in here, Ben. You beautiful man. Ben behind the scenes, you sexy beast.
Ben behind the scenes. That's a good title.
Ben behind the scenes. Ben the scenes. So for everyone here at the Nat One Heroes family, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.
See you in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Bring the rum.